This week I'm serving up another Chinese restaurant favorite, Mongolian beef. Tender strips of beef coated in a beautifully velvety sauce that's oh so good. And the best part, it's surprisingly easy to make at home. Get ready to be amazed as we almost replicate the restaurant version right in your own kitchen. Let's dive right in. I have about 450 gram, 1 pound of beef flank steak. While this cut may be relatively economical, the flavor certainly isn't. See these lines of muscle fibers running this way? You want to cut across these lines, especially with a cut like flank steak, to make the beef tender. First, I cut along the muscle fibers to make them bite-sized. And then, each chunk of beef is sliced across the lines. You can use other tender cuts of beef, but make sure your beef pieces are sliced quite thinly. First, I marinate thinly sliced beef by adding half tablespoon of cooking oil, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and Shaoxing wine each. Baking soda is often used to tenderize meat, so I add 1/4 to half teaspoon. Be careful not to add too much as it can give the meat an odd taste. And I add a tablespoon of cornstarch and mix well. I set it aside for about half an hour. Next, I cut the onion into wedges as I like them to retain a bit of crunch when cooked in the sauce. I slice the paler parts of 2 green onions for aromatics, while the darker parts are sliced diagonally for garnish. A small piece of ginger is peeled using a spoon. Thinly julienned and then minced finely. I'll use roughly a heaped teaspoon of minced ginger here. I'm using store-bought garlic paste today, but 2 to 4 cloves of minced garlic would give the dish even more flavor. I'm also using crushed dry chili from a Chinese shop. For our sauce, I start with 3/4 cup of beef stock, which can be substituted with chicken stock. Then I add 2 tablespoons of stevia or sugar, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce. The dark soy sauce mainly adds color, so if you don't have it, that's okay, but the color of the dish won't be as dark. Also prepare a tablespoon of cornstarch and the same amount of water in a separate bowl. In Chinese cooking, speed is key, so I like to have everything ready to go. I add 1 to 2 tablespoons of cooking oil to a hot pan and then add the marinated beef once the oil is heated. I should have cooked the beef in 2 batches, but I just dumped the whole thing on medium-high heat. It's important to spread out the beef pieces as much as possible to ensure they sear properly. As you can see, my pan is really crowded. I flip the beef when it's nicely browned. Another important point is not to overcook the meat here. Remove it from the pan when it's about 70-80% cooked. If the pan is dry, I add a little more oil. On low-medium heat, I add the aromatics like ginger, the pale parts of the green onions, garlic, followed by the onion wedges, and dried chili pepper to your liking. When the onion starts to become transparent, I pour in my sauce and deglaze the pan to make sure we don't leave all those yummy bits behind. When the onion is slightly wilted, I go back to my cornstarch slurry, give it a quick stir and add it slowly to the sauce. I immediately stir the sauce so the cornstarch slurry is well incorporated. I reduce the heat to low and keep an eye on the sauce, making sure it's slightly syrupy but not too thick. Finally, in goes the beef. Tender beef and onion pieces smothered in a shiny, gorgeous sauce that's infused with fragrant aromatics. As a final touch, I add sliced spring onions and additional dried chili, followed by a sprinkle of freshly ground pepper to finish it off. Can a weeknight meal get any better than this? Forget about Chinese takeout. I guarantee you'll be amazed by your excellent cooking, and your family will be asking for seconds 100%. Thanks for your company. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more tried and true recipes. Until next time, keep cooking!